right, we are back for another episode of the Stronger Together experience, and I'm extremely excited. This is season 2, and I think I've been trying to get these two on since the initial episode over a year ago, so I'm extremely excited to have them come on. But it is a good time to have them on because we had an opportunity to connect last weekend at Austin Tech and Learning, hearing all about the great things that they've been doing up to this point and so many more things coming up. So I want to bring them on, hear so many great things from them. And if you haven't had a chance to meet Jenallee and Salee, here they are. So Jenallee, as you say, I'm going to turn the stage over, or the camera over, to you for a minute. I'd love for you to introduce yourselves and as a team, as you always do, and tell us a little bit about yourselves and where you are chatting from.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight. We're so excited. And yes, I think it's been forever. We keep, sorry, our schedules are just so crazy as busy moms, but tonight worked perfect. So we're so glad to be here. My name is Jenny Long.
I'm Salee Clark.
And we are Jenallee.
And where are you from? Where are you coming from?
Well, we're EdTech speakers, bloggers, and authors of the Microsoft Teams Playbook. We're actually innovation leaders with Castleberry ISD, which is a new district for us this year. We're super excited. We'll tell you a little bit about that. But we are north of Fort Worth, Texas.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
What do you have? Alexa's joining us too. I have to put Alexa on the playbill to be like, here she is, and Jenallee and Alexa. If I keep saying her name, will she come in the background? I'll order something from.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for her to come on. I'm like,
yes. So you talked about moving to a new district. Tell us where you're from. The district you're in now.
We're super excited to join the team at Castleberry ISD. It's inside of Fort Worth, actually 3 different towns. So it's kind of on the corner of Fort Worth. But the reason we're so excited about this district is they're so technology. They use technology. They're innovative with technology. 6 years ago, they started putting Wi-Fi towers across the town so that every student has Wi-Fi in their homes from the school and their one-to-one devices. And that was 6 years ago, before COVID was even a thing. So as COVID came onto the scene, they were ready to go, get up and run with all the things that they had already in place. So we're super excited to join them and help with the innovation that they're bringing to the technology field.
They just became a
League of Innovation school. So we're so excited.
Wow, what does that mean? Tell us what that means.
Yeah.
It's part of the Digital Promise. It's just an elite group of innovative schools that are honored. And then, kind of like we get together as, educators and leaders in technology, the superintendents come together, which actually they're meeting next week. Yeah. I think it is next week or the week after in California. So our superintendent is going to take our director of teaching, learning, and innovation and our technology director. So they're going to go and as a team. And so we're super excited about the things they're going to come back with. So.
Awesome. So one of the things I want to dive into, because we see Jenallee, we see the work that you're doing. How did that start? What's the origin story?
It's a fun story. Salee and I have been working together for 6 years. So we both started work together at Eagle Mountain ISD, which is a neighboring district. It's actually the community we live in where our kids go to school. And we started on the first day, and it was just a match made in heaven. We both share the same vision, the same goal, and the same experiences. And so we both have children with dyslexia. And so we are very passionate about accessibility. And that's kind of been our platform. And we just have loved working together. About a year in, I think our coworkers used to kind of play with us, our names, mushing them together.
That's
We're
funny.
like the new, so like we would be like the new Benifer. It's like Jenny Lee, right?
There you go.
Yeah. So like we just mix each other's names, and we would always be, goofy with who was teaming up at each campus and try and make nicknames. But we really liked Jenallee. And so before we knew it, it was kind of coined across the district, like, oh, Jenalee's coming. So we were like, okay, well, let's just run with Jenallee, because what we started doing was making YouTube videos for our teachers, because we had 20 campuses. So we found that we'd go to one campus, the teachers would have a question, we'd go to another campus and they would have the same question. So we were like, let's just start a YouTube series of videos answering some of these questions, just to help our district out. And then any other teachers around the world that might need this information. And so that's how Jenallee got started, was making YouTube tutorials for teachers.
That's awesome. And I was incredibly fortunate to meet you early on, and we actually met in California at a tech and learning event, and from then you've just continued to grow and push yourselves and keep spreading your wings. So one of the things before we dive into the books, I want to hear about that and share with all of the viewers. And I see a few people popping on. Feel free to throw something into the comments if you have questions yourself. But for those who are aspiring to get into the field of speaking at events, and you know, you went from participants to session speakers to now featured speakers and authors. What is your recommendation for individuals just starting out? Because too often we see people who are successful like you and say, wow, you just got there, you got lucky, or wow, now you're there. You didn't see the journey. What was the journey of Jenallee to get to from session, you know, participant to featured speaker at multiple national events?
I think it's just connecting and networking continually. Like, we love growing our PLN and meeting people like you and Carl Hooker. Like, you guys have been so instrumental in our growth, and finding those mentors that we can learn from, and just building that community that we call family. And our Microsoft community has been a huge influence in our growth, and just giving us opportunities and putting yourself out there. Like, I mean, I didn't really present a whole lot. Well, probably didn't really present till Slee and I, you know, came together, and I've used Twitter before, but never really was really active on it as producing content. And so I think producing content, but not only a producer, but taking in and learning from others, and just continually interacting with people and just growing and learning. Like,
I think that's been the biggest piece is we learn so much from people in our community, and we value the knowledge that comes from, you know, that hive mind that we have on Twitter. And we want to be a part of sharing and giving back as well. And so we know that it might seem like nothing that we're sharing, or something that we learned, you know, 5 years ago. This isn't new, but then we always find people who are like, oh, we didn't know about that. Or even
Right.
now, yeah, I mean, even now our coworkers, they'll show us something and we're like, we had no idea that existed, because we've never, you know, worked together, even though for them it's something they have been using for 5 years. And
well,
so
because we're learning the Google now.
we
so-
are.
The Google, and I'm learning the team. So like we like switch places in our roles.
But I think there's huge value in, you know, putting out content and sharing what you know. And then in that same thread, and this is going to sound weird, but we're really nerds. Like, we get giddy and excited about learning new things. And I think that also is part of it. Like, when you love it, I think it comes off that way too.
And I also think having somebody, like, I probably would not be putting myself out there as much if I didn't have somebody to push me and challenge me. And then the partnership that we have, I mean, people say it to us all the time, like, it's unique, you know, and I know I wouldn't do that by myself. So I think it's just together, it's better, stronger together, right?
There you go. And I think what is a draw, I mean, besides I consider you great friends, what's a draw to me is your willingness to learn new things. Too often I see individuals in this space, and I'm much older than you and been around.
No, you're not.
Yeah, been around.
Yeah,
this.
you are.
Yeah, you are.
Maybe
There you
older
go.
than her, but I'm old.
I see a lot of individuals go to events, or they only go to an event if they speak, or they go and only promote themselves. I'm always amazed at how much you're willing to put yourselves out there as learners. You just said it. We go to a different district, and we're excited to learn. What is, you know, for new, now that we're back from COVID, and or for the most part, and people are going to events, for newcomers to events, what would you say to them who are just going for the first time to these big, large scale events? How are they going to take all of that in?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, we try to do bite size, and I'll tell you what we do, but we have a OneNote between the two of us, and
That's efficient.
not a surprise, right? At every session, we're putting in our aha moments. We're popping in the link to the presentations, and we're just jotting down things that we want to remember and take back and try and use. And I think when we leave events, we have, like, you know, those big rocks from those events that we're like, okay, this was huge for us. Let's go back and try it and put it into practice. Because we know, just like you know, I mean, when we go to conferences, you can hear it, but if you're not actually implementing anything, you're never really going to remember it. So it'll just, you know, go away.
And find somebody, like, I'm thinking we were at Bet, and we had our new friend there that was by herself, and we were just like, hey, come with us. And then And she's like, "Are you sure you want me to hang out with you?" And we're like, "Yes,
Oh, yeah.
come with us. Go, just you may get bored following us around and by yourself." But of course she wasn't bored. But and then we remember our friend Tisha Richmond. She had a friend coming to ISTE this summer that was brand new. And so we got in a Vox group and we were all encouraging her and sending in our like tips and things like that. But just finding somebody in a group that you can connect with and hang out with them, for the time, because it can be intimidating and scary for sure.
Well, and I think kind of just wrap it up with both of our comments too. The sessions are important and what you see there is good. But again, it's information overload and you can only take away a few nuggets of information. But equally important, not more, but equally important to the sessions is connecting with people and making sure that you have those long lasting relationships that you can go back and continually learn with those people.
Yeah, and I think that's critical, and it helps you to evolve. So I want to dive into this. What do you think when you see this? Like, what is your first? I hope it's pride and being proud. Don't tell us what you do, the behind the scenes stuff, but because I know that too. But
that's what we think.
I know
that was big. That was a lot.
That was a lot. So tell us about the book.
It's not our color scheme. But
okay, that's what okay, fair enough.
It does go with the sports theme, and we just being in a Microsoft district and jumping into COVID where everyone had to experience going to a platform. We became the Teams girls in our district because our secondary students went Canvas and we went Teams with our elementary. And so we just decided, throughout this time, we wanted to write the book originally, but then when COVID happened, we're like, now we actually have some real good content to put in the book. So it was appropriate timing. But we just, we had some real practical experiences and it was an interesting time.
And we both, like we mentioned earlier, we both have children with dyslexia. So Microsoft tools are literally life-changing for us. We've seen them in practice with our kids. We've seen the impact that it has on their learning, and being able to share their journey and the tools that have truly impacted their lives was super important to us. And all of them are built into Microsoft Teams.
So for someone who has never seen the book, why should they pick it up? Tell us something about it that's going to be inspiring for educators. And it's not just I'm going to learn Teams. How are they going to improve their practice with this book?
Well, right off the bat, the book is kind of divided into 4 parts. The beginning is kind of our story and how Jenallee and I became who we are and our journey and our friendship and our strengths. And we talk a lot about our strengths and how we complement each other and we're more productive in letting go of our jealousies and our wishes and would-haves and just kind of letting each other run in what we are good in our partnership. And we talk about strengths and knowing your student strengths and how that can, increase productivity in your classroom and encourage your students to be who they are and to flourish in that.
Because we know from having kids with dyslexia, they aren't necessarily the grade that you see on the paper. They're not necessarily what you're teaching from the book. Or, people are complex. Our students are complex. And helping to know their strengths gives us the opportunity to help them learn in a more relevant way. And so we even came up with 5 different ways that technology in particular can help, that you can leverage technology to help equalize the playing field within your classroom.
Wow. And all that's in this one book.
Yeah. And over 70 lessons. So it's not just Teams, like it's applications that you can use with Teams or Google or Canvas or whatever platform you're using. But we talk about, 10 different partner applications like Wakelet and Flip and Adobe Creative Cloud Express.
The name shifting, right?
Adobe Express. We've had to make some changes and edits in the book since things are changing. And like all the Microsoft, we talk about PowerPoint and Forms and Buncee, some of our just go-to applications and how they work with Teams, which is, from our experiences creating lessons. But we have over 70 lessons. We have QR codes. We have, open the book and turn around and take this lesson and use it tomorrow.
There's templates included. So you really can just copy the template, make it your own, and run with it.
And half of it is a digital book because it's all hidden in our website because we wrote so much. We had to cut it all out.
3 books in one, we think. Yeah. It's what we feel like.
Wow. And speaking of your website, I'm going to pull it up here for a minute. This is just a screenshot of it. And we were talking before we went live about the updates, and I have the website scrolling across the bottom, so make sure to check that out. But and there's your colors, right? So what are users going to see when they go visit the JenalleeShow.com website? What's on there for them?
So he's been working hard on it lately.
Well, we're trying, like we said, we love producing content. We love sharing what we know. We love learning and then, sharing those nuggets out. And so we've been working on curating all of the content that we create to share easily on our website. So underneath resources, you'll find, oh goodness, I can't even remember. There's like 60 templates. We have over 55 TikTok videos with tutorials that I just curated this weekend. I'm trying to think. Oh, goodness.
Well, all of our presentations, we've been putting them in a Wakelet. And so every time we go to a conference, we just, guide people to our website, and then we can just say, click on the conference that you're at. And so then our presentation links are there instead of having to make different bit.lys and things like that. So all of our presentations are there. So you can get a glimpse of the things that we speak on, opportunities to connect with us if you want us to come and speak to your school, your district. Our book is listed up there, and a little bit about us and our history and who we are and what we do. So it
comes second nature to you as you're talking about it. One of the things I want to go back to, because I've had the good fortune of seeing your evolution and really just proud of your work and excited to see you continue to grow. You talk about these things like it just happens to everybody. Oh, when we put our presentations in Wakelet and then we do bit.lys and you throw these words around. I'm going to dive into that because there's a lot of efficiency in that. A lot of times people build a lot of things and it's just scattered. I mean, a mutual friend of ours, Andy Wallace's desktop, I think has 7,000 icons on it because there's
I'm scared of his desktop. I can only imagine.
Yes. So you talk about your presentations in Wakelet. What is that? Tell us about that.
Wow. Well, Wakelet is an incredible curation tool. We use it for everything. Every time we create something, we're like, oh, we'll put it in a Wakelet. Yeah. And we've really been using Spaces. Yeah. So Spaces is like a whole other collection piece. But you can put links, PDFs, you can put videos in there, images, and Wakelet has partnered now with Adobe and also with Canva. So you can create your little header images or, your cover images straight from those platforms. And we're super excited because Wakelet is coming to visit us next week. So they're going to be in our school next Thursday. We're working with a STEM class to do a podcast. We're starting with our digital sportsmanship program that we've been working on with Mary Alice Curran. And
Wakelet's going to be the very first episode of the podcast of our students interviewing them. So we're super excited that they'll have the opportunity to interview an entrepreneur and dig into how to do that and what it looks like to be an entrepreneur.
And Wakelet's can be collaborative. You can send out a collaborative link. Students can even contribute. It's great. We've used it for portfolios for students to just house and showcase their work. It's so many uses for it. Great way to organize and deliver PD even because it just looks nice. It's housed, it's clean, and it has immersive reader in it. So we love that because it's accessible as well.
And what is that?
Oh, it's one of our favorite tools ever. So Immersive Reader is built into all Microsoft products. It is free. It's non-stigmatizing, which means that, as our kids were growing up and having to read content, they needed it read aloud. So the teacher would come over and read it aloud to them. But as middle schoolers in pre-AP classes, that's embarrassing. And it definitely points them out that they struggle with reading. And this allows the students to own that opportunity to have things read for themselves and be able to access content themselves, which is huge. But anything that is typed or placed into a OneNote, Word document, Wakelet, oh goodness, there's other applications as well.
Flip, it's in
Whiteboard.chat, Flip, Nearpod, Bunsy. It will read the content aloud to the students. It also allows you to speed up the speed of the reading, slow it down. It has a picture dictionary where you can click words and see an image for the word, and you can translate it into over 70 different languages, even probably more than that now.
Maybe-ish.
Yeah, who knows? And it will read in that translated language as well.
Well, that's incredibly impressive. And questions are flying in. One of your fans just asked a question. Christine Bemis, who is a Peloton queen, she says, you look great and wants to know, Jenny, what is your go-to Peloton workout?
Ooh. Listen, I'm a Cody fan. He's just makes me laugh. And if I want a good workout, I do Tunde. But like Cody's just fun. I love to just not think about anything, and just he's just funny. But I love all the walks and runs too. Just get out there and be active. Celine's getting her blue dots this week.
Oh, wow. What's your go-to, Celie?
Oh, you would ask me her name right now, wouldn't you? What's her name?
Not Robin.
No.
Jess.
No. Let me look on the Peloton app.
Yeah.
I just did it today.
All
Just
right. That's awesome.
I'll tell you.
So speaking of fun and getting out, what about when I show you this?
Oh.
Like one of the things that we don't do enough of, and I've seen, have had an opportunity to obviously spend some time with you and this weekend doing some karaoke. How can individuals have that balance when they go to events to have fun, let loose, but still be professionals? How do you do that?
Oh, that's hard.
Well, first I have to tell you, it's Allie Love. She's my favorite. She
Allie Love, okay.
Yeah, she like preaches to you in the morning and like pumps you up and makes you feel like you're ready for anything. So I love her. Sorry. So how do we do all those things?
Oh, lots of Spark. We drink Spark. That's our energy.
Okay.
I mean,
Adrenaline. Like we just keep going
you
and
get
connecting.
so excited to
and
see people.
It's those selfies. Love the selfies and the pictures and just hugs and being together and just knowing that we're being fulfilled and poured into from other educators and meeting new people. This past weekend we made a new friend, Jen, and it's just making those connections that you're going to continue, and hanging out with Andrew, and we met him on some random interaction that we had with something we did with Carl, and it's just so funny that you all come back into full circle. And
I love how too, like we were just talking about this earlier today, how, we're connected with people online, which is a great connection and you feel like you're friends. But then when you meet in person, it's like, I don't know, it's like the fulfillment of friendship happens all in one moment. It's like, oh my goodness, like I knew I liked you, but now I really like you because we actually got to meet in person.
Right. So speaking of meeting in person, we have a couple more minutes. Tell us what's ahead for Jenallee. Where are you speaking? What are some things? And I know one of the big pieces that we're talking about is FETC, and I know you're doing a lot before that, but I look forward to seeing you then. But tell us what is on your agenda the next, the rest of 2022.
Well, we just came back from Tennessee last week in Austin, and then at Tennessee they asked us to speak at their state conference, which is TETC. And I lived in Tennessee for a while. So
really? Okay.
Yes, I was in the East Tennessee for 5 years. So it's familiar, and I'm excited to bring Celine.
I love it. I feel like I'm meeting people that I know, right, online again, or
talked
from
about
stories
them forever.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be featured speakers at TETC, which is their state conference. So we're excited about that. It's the right after Thanksgiving, the end of November, a little bit of beginning of December, the last few days there. So we're excited for that. But before that, actually, we're going to TCCA with Aldine. It's
so
north of Houston.
Like,
they all got T in them. But that is the largest free conference in Texas.
Yes.
So it's a really big one, and it's all day on a Saturday. So we're featured speakers there.
We went, or this year I'm super excited because our team is coming with us here at Castleberry, and some of the coordinators are coming as well.
And presenting.
And they're presenting. So I'm super excited for them to share their voice. And again, the innovative
some of them have
things
never
that
presented
Castleberry is
before.
doing. Right. So it's going to be so great to be able to be there with them and for them to share their voice. But also we went last year and it was such a great conference. Like I really enjoyed connecting with people who are close to us here in Texas, and also just hearing the different things that they're doing.
And the E-Twins, whose birthday is today.
Yes, happy birthday. I sent them a birthday note.
Yes, they'll be flying in for the weekend too. So we're so excited to hang out with them.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's the rest of this year. And then we will be heading to FETC, TCEA, IdeaCon. We're excited for that one. That's going to be a first time for us. We'll be featured speakers there as well. And possibly NCCE.
Wow. So you're busy. You have a busy a plate of showcasing and sharing. So make sure to check them out. The website's below. Here's the Twitter. You want to make sure to follow them. Visit the website. The book is on there. All those free resources, everything you need to support yourself, your ed tech in your district. So before you leave, I ask every guest, what does Stronger Together mean to you two?
Oh. Stronger Together means to me just being a better person with someone else and not being alone, and just having someone to push you and be the better version of yourself with the support of somebody else.
I would say it is valuing another's strengths. I think that that's one of the biggest things for us is we truly value each other and see each other as wonderful human beings and help each other as we continue in this journey.
Well, it definitely comes off. You're incredibly authentic. And if you haven't had a chance to meet Jenny and Jenallee at any of these wonderful events you're going to across the country, make sure to go see them, get a picture with them, chat with them, have a good laugh with them, and make sure to connect and learn from them. So I am thrilled that we finally have to have you on. I'm thrilled, so thrilled for your success and all the great things that you're doing. I can't wait to connect again and share and laugh and sing karaoke and make fun of Andy Wallace, like everything in between.
I just have to say that karaoke picture, oh my goodness.
That was great.
It's awesome. I share it with everyone. I'm like,
That,
that one.
I got so excited I clicked the wrong button. Yeah. Like how can you not laugh and have fun like that, right?
Oh my gosh, that's greatness.
I can't believe you had it handy. That's
I haven't.
even
What do you
better.
think? You've known me long enough. I had it just in case. I had
He's
this
ready.
one in case we wanted to just have fun, and then if we really wanted to go there, I had it ready.
That other one is one of our favorites. I think
Yes.
you and we have that one in our office hanging up. That's
Absolutely.
No matter
Well,
where the office is, that photo goes.
That photo moves around. So I think one of the things that our viewers are seeing at the end is not only do we make connections professionally, that personally we stay connected, we build each other up, we really support each other, because as we continue to grow and succeed, we push each other and just have a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. So thank you both for coming on. Obviously, I wish you all the best, and we'll be chatting for sure. And if you haven't had a chance to check them out, make sure to check them out and stay stronger together, because as you can see from the partnership, when those bonds are there and the friendship is there, you just continue to grow through and through. So have a great rest of your week and continued success in all that you do.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
See ya.